Hi everyone, I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you so much for joining me today, July 30th, to discuss U.S. immigration in our regular question and answer or Q&A session I have Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm so happy you could join me. There's a lot of things that are changing up really quickly through the immigration system. A lot of them don't have any answers, but we'll go through all of that. But as a reminder, this is general education only. The rules change rapidly and quickly, and every day it's something different. So it's not meant for case-specific or individual legal guidance. We're just here live on TikTok Monday through Thursdays, Immigration Lawyer John, Thursdays on Instagram as well, and the recording of this on YouTube. And if you're watching there, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get the latest notifications. We'll talk briefly about what's going on with the, the I-944 public charge rule really briefly, because it's not really clear what's going to happen, but I'll update you on that in a second. Let's get it started. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us again for today's show, Thursday. As a reminder, we're not going to be doing Friday lives anymore. I record regular kinds of videos on Fridays. Pavan says, thanks, John. It seems USCIS furlough is not going to happen. Well, yeah, the word on the street was that USCIS is going to furlough employees. That means kind of have to go home and not get paid because USCIS doesn't have enough money. Well, they found some money to push it back for another month, and so we're playing it really day by day, week by week, and that's not even the biggest news with USCIS and the Immigration Department, even though a furlough seems like it's massive. The big news is that courts yesterday issued an injunction about the public charge rule, and this was a new thing President Trump started. The public charge rule has been there for 140 years, but what they focused on now is harder requirements to prove that a foreign person who's coming into the United States is not going to have financial issues and can take care of themselves. And this new rule was finally instituted in February after the Supreme Court made a decision, February 24th. But a new judge said due to COVID-19, it's not fair, so they put a hold on it for people applying for green cards in the U.S. and through the embassies overseas. However, is USCIS going to accept this or not? The Supreme Court made a decision about DACA, deferred action for childhood arrivals, and USCIS is not properly accepting it according to the terms of the USCIS. So, we're kind of stuck. I have several green card cases I need to file. I don't know whether to include the I-944 or not. So although the courts have said this, and it's not clear what's going to happen. The courts have said they got to go back to accepting DACA cases at least now. And USCIS issued a memo a few days ago saying, no, we're not going to do that. So it's not really clear what's going to happen. And even if you talk with your immigration attorney, there's no clear stuff. You just got to pick and choose which way you want to go and the urgency of filing, and a lot of other factors like that. But thanks so much for bringing that problem as well. Excuse me. Start talking really fast at the beginning of the show, and it put some pressure on my throat. I got to calm it down a little. Today was a busy day. I got caught up in not work stuff, but other people's work. And I can't go into much detail on it, but just wasted a lot of time all morning over nonsense, and so really it was a drag. But anyways, I don't want to bring you guys down. Ronnie asks, have you had any I-485 interviews with the 944 yet? No, I don't think they're only beginning to issue interview dates, potentially beginning, probably not, of people who filed for adjustment of status for I-944. I don't think that's probably going to happen for another several months. So I don't have any examples of people who have submitted with an I-944 and had that reviewed. Sonia on TikTok asks, hi, how long the average your I-751 Cali case is taking? Well, I-751 is the application for removal of conditions. This is if you have a 2-year green card and you want to get a 10-year green card. And that's based on, usually it's a marriage kind of case of new marriages. My cases, I don't know about Cali, my cases usually take less than a year, but the average time nationally is about 1.5 years. Now, it doesn't mean all my cases get done that quickly, but in the last 2 I've gotten, it took 7 to 8 months. I was really surprised it went that fast, actually. I wouldn't rely on it. If you came to me with the case, I wouldn't quote you that. I'll say 1.5 years on average. But what I say is don't worry about time, please, please, please. When the questions are going to come about time, that's the first one. But I'm just going to skip any questions that discuss time because it's not appropriate for me to quote some random things that don't make any sense. The time is unknown when it comes to immigration. All right, let's see. Some other questions must have popped up by now. Let's see. Hashimi says, is it a good time for permanent residents to leave country for vacation? That's too general a question. If you want to leave for a vacation, I need to see what's going on in your case and your background, if you have any arrests or criminal history, if your green card was properly granted, where you're going, how long you're going to be out. So that's too general of a question to ask. How long is it, there's a question you ask like, should we go in front of the sun? Well, go to the beach. Well, a lot of people at the beach is fine, but some people go to the beach and their skin burns and get skin cancer. It really depends. This kind of question is too broad to be answered in that way. On Instagram, Massa asks, or actually Rania asks, okay, in Philadelphia, they just started sending I-485 interviews, fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, they'll start sending I-485 interviews, but these are for people probably who submitted the case before the I-94, before the public charge rule came into effect. So it may or may not be them, but hopefully they get it started. Massa says, hi, is it a good idea to apply for parents right now because of all the immigration changes? I need to know what your case is. If you're filing an I-130, it's always good to file that as soon as possible. You should have done that as soon as you became a citizen, frankly. But with the rest of the parts of the case, it's case specific. I need to see what's going on. But because the I-130, the initial step for the petition, takes so long, it's always good to have that and get it approved, and then think about what your next steps are when you're going to be dealing with consular processing. So is it a good time? Most people, yeah. 99% people, yeah. If you're 99% or the 1%, I don't know. I have to have a consultation with you. But that's that. Paul says, do you do consults for second opinion? If I'm already working with another attorney and application already filed, yeah, sure, I can take a look at it. If you have already filed something, we could do a consultation. I need a copy of what you submitted to the government, because without that copy, I'm blind. I can't really judge to see what's going on. Most likely your attorney did a great job, yeah, if you want to, just email my office, info@jqqlaw.com. There is a consultation fee, but email me and describe the issue or thing you want to discuss, and I'll let you know how much the consultation fee is and if I handle it just generally. But I could just review stuff and give you my opinion. Sure, no problem. All right, on TikTok, you're welcome, Masa. Hashmi says, okay, we already answered that question. You're welcome, Zard, Sunny. Okay, TikTok, he says, have a CR1, a conditional regular 1 interview started in Mumbai. And you see, I don't know, you should ask the embassy in Mumbai, India, if they're issuing or not. Ajna says, hi, how do you do as well? Amini says, hi, how long average naturalization? In South Dakota, check USCIS.gov for that. Immigration or Momita, thank you for joining, good to see you. Dolce says, are any of the embassies opening soon? A lot of the embassies that open are processing cases. It depends on the country and what kind of case it is. So consult with the embassy or just have a lawyer, they could keep an eye out for that stuff for you. Audrey says, I'm a green card holder. Can I apply for a green card for my 22-year-old son? If you're a green card holder, you can apply for an adult single, unmarried child. It's the F3 category. Yeah, you can start the process. It's going to take many years, but you can start the process, but your child cannot get married until you become a U.S. citizen. So if you're a green card holder and you have a green card case pending for your child, if your child gets married, it's going to kill the case. Actually, it's not the F3 category. I'm sorry, it's the F2B. My apologies for that. It's the F2B. F3 is adult married child of a U.S. citizen. So that's the F2B category, adult child of a green card holder above 21. So as long as they say single, yeah, you could file for them. Again, it's going to take, I don't know the charge right now, 7-9 years, something like that. It's better you apply now before you become a green card, because if you file when you have a green card, it might go a year faster. That's been in the last couple of years how it's happening. But consult with an attorney. I frequently have people who file on their own, green card holders or citizens who file for their children, adult children, and they make major mistakes that either invalidate the case or add all sorts of unneeded delays in it. So really just have a lawyer so you can have a breakdown of the process and have a strategy at the very least. You don't have to hire the lawyer for the whole case if you don't want to, but talk with somebody, talk to a couple people so you get a better idea of what's going on, and so you're prepared. Maria says, if I have a student visa that expires next year, could I renew it from here? No, you cannot renew a visa in the United States, but if you're in the United States, you can just stay here. The visa itself is just permission to try to enter the United States. But if you're here, as long as you're maintaining your school stuff, you're going and stuff, you can stay here. You have what's called duration of status, or D/S. You have that on your I-94 and on your paperwork, on stamping your passport. That says as long as you're going to school properly, you can stay here. The validity of the visa doesn't matter at that point once you're inside the United States. But if you do leave, you will need to get a new visa, and you cannot get a visa in the United States. Visas are issued by the State Department through its consulates and embassies all across the world. They don't operate within the United States. Alex says, why does choose immigration law? I think he's probably saying, why do you choose immigration law? Because it's great. I fell into it. I didn't choose it initially, but I really enjoy dealing with clients on a one-on-one basis. It's a human being. I learn a lot, the whole world through my clients is watching like biography channels and learning about what's going on in the streets, what people have gone through. It's very interesting for me. I'm good at it. It's really, I'm good at it. So it's like when you do something, you do it well and you get successful at it, it makes you want to do it more. You're like, I found something I'm good at. So that's there too. And yeah, I like dealing with people from across the world, learning from them, and just helping them across the way. It's a very satisfying experience. So I stuck with that. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, Mario says, since it's not a guarantee for me to come back, and then your question cuts off, so I don't have an answer for you. User 086 says, hi, I'm not sure if you know about an Indian embassy starting taking interviews for visa. Yeah, check with the embassy. Rania says, not good, you're excellent. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Rania. Okay, Ajna says, can you recommend a good immigration law in Austin, Texas? Immigration law is very specific. So some immigration lawyers do every type of immigration. I don't. I have to study every type of immigration because I constantly talk about it. I give seminars and training. So I have to know about every piece of immigration. But my office only handles a few types of cases. If you're getting married and you don't have criminal history and you don't need a waiver, I'll do that case. If you're investing and starting a business, I may or may not do that case depending on what kind of investment it is. And if you're really, best athlete, best star in what you're doing, I'll do that, but nothing less than that. So I'm only a few types of stuff. So when you ask, do you recommend an immigration lawyer in Texas? Well, I know somebody who's really good at certain business categories. And I know somebody who maybe certain things. So I need to know specifically what you're looking for before I can say I recommend this or recommend that. So if you like, email my office and describe the issue that you have. If off the top of my head I remember a colleague that does that, I'll let you know. But a good immigration lawyer, is going to be really fine-tuned niche. It's kind of like doctors. Like, if you need brain surgery, you want to go to a brain surgeon, not just, a doctor, And so unless I know specifically what surgery you need, I can't go to a specialized person to tell you. And it's a common misunderstanding. People, ever since I graduated law school, think a lawyer could do every type of stuff. But lawyers are like doctors, are specialized. There's dermatologists, there's brain surgeons, there's people that focus on feet, I guess, or eyes, optometrists, teeth, there's dentists. So it's very specialized. So I need to know what you need before I could tell you if I know somebody there. But, it's a private thing, so just email me, and that's the best way to go. Kayak-san says, can he get a green card? Kayak-san, I don't know what your previous question was. That was out of nowhere, so I don't know if he can get it or not. All right, let's see. Adi says, condition on residence receipt number to another USCIS office. That office now has jurisdiction or case. Okay, that's just, it is what's next. You wait, that's what that is. Anime says, USCIS office opening? Yeah, they're opening. Let's say, go to uscis.gov for the latest information. Oops, I pressed the button. Now I'm trying to mess up. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Hi, sir. Sending hi to you. You're welcome, Mario. Gonkesi asks, diversity visa 2020, is it possible to come? For some very few people, it is possible to come if they fall within one of the exceptions. So you got to kind of just, I need to know your case. Most people, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they'll be getting their visas for the diversity visa lottery this year, but there are a small number who will fall within exceptions. So it really depends on your case. And Goswani, thank you for sharing the live. Kaya says, public charge case of my brother, his F2B is current. Can he get a green card? I don't know. I don't know you or your brother. I don't know your financial stuff. I have no idea, because this is like a too case-specific question for me to answer here. It's not possible to answer that. Divandar says, fiancé visa late this time? I don't know your question, Divandar. Fiancé visa late this time. I just might not be getting it, but try to reword your question so I have a better idea. MB Goswani, thank you for sharing the current. Kathy asks, from working permit, how many months before the interview? There is no set time from when you get a work permit to the interview. They're two separate things and go on their own timelines. Sammy says, I have filled the M400. I changed my name on the M400, so now I changed my mind to change my family name. So okay, you on the paperwork when filing for citizenship, you said that you want to change your name, but now you regret it and you want to go back. Well, that's no problem. When you're at your interview for naturalization, for citizenship, they ask you again, are you sure you want to change your name? You say yes. If you still don't want the old name, you want another name, not the one written on the Form F400, you could even request that one to be changed. So at the interview, it's very flexible. From what I've seen, I've never had a problem. They just say, oh, you know what, I want to go back and not change it. I want to change the name to someone else. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, one thing you have to be mindful for is that not every USCIS field office does name changes. And so, for example, in Los Angeles, they're pretty good at doing name changes. And the reason is because when you do your oath ceremony to change your name, you have to have an officer of the court there that could confirm the name change. But in a place like San Francisco, they don't, even though the form says you could change your name, once you go to the interview, they'll say, actually, we don't do name changes here. So you got to then look to see what your local office does. And I'm not familiar with every procedure at every office, but maybe contact local attorneys or whatever. But the reality is you could change your name at the interview. You could fix that up. But not every field office will accept name changes in general. They might just say you have to go to court later, do it on your own. Nagin on Instagram says, hi, Mr. Khosravi. Are you accepting a case of transferring money from Iran to U.S.? If yes, would you please explain more? I'm an immigration attorney. I don't have no funds transfers. Transferring money from Iran to the United States is a nightmare, and you might be subject to federal offenses. It's a crazy situation. What you need to talk with is an OFAC attorney, OFAC, but even they may not be able to guide you on that one. It's a mess, unfortunately, but I don't have any guidance for you on that, Nagin. Okay, Sonny says, are field offices working at full capacity? My case in the Fresno field office. No, they're not working full capacity. The way they've made it is when they're doing interviews, every time you do an interview and it's done in many of the field offices, at least in California, the officer leaves that room and then doesn't enter that room again until the next day. So when they have the next interview come up, they just go over and walk into another room and interview there. As you can imagine, the number of rooms runs out pretty soon after that. So they only do a limited amount of interviews because of COVID-19, which means more delays. So when people ask me how long things take, how is this it's not a reasonable question, I don't think, because how is anyone going to guess that? So I don't know. That's why I don't get frustrated. And the 50 times a day I get asked how long things take. Sammy says, I applied for my naturalization, but I put something I don't want instead of my name. Can't yet. As I said, you could change that. Okay, Gunkeshtis, thanks for sharing their view. Sammy says, I have interview August 13th. Yeah, just talk with the people. Adriana says, ZZZ, snoring. Well, God bless you. Actually, no, it's part of your name. Or are you saying that? Yeah, you just part of your name. Idea Quest says, can I ask a question? Yeah, we're all here to ask questions. Shoot it out. If I can answer it, I will. Gunkeshtis says, if my spouse is in the U.S., then should I wait till December to apply for his green card? I don't know why you would say wait till December for Trump or something. I don't know. You should consult with an attorney right now to see what the situation of the case. I don't know enough about your case. But if you are doing a marriage case, actually, the first thing you should do is download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook. It's the greatest Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebooks for a starter, for a person trying to figure it out. I wrote it myself and it's free. Just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. Download it. It'll break down the process for you as simple as I could write it in basic, so you just could follow along. And has a chart in there, all that kind of stuff. And so I think first you should go read that and get an idea of what's going on in the immigration system. And then once you have that, then go consult with some attorneys in private to see what's going on. The website is marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. That's where you can download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook, and I recommend starting there. Site says, I'm in the U.S. currently with an approved H-1B visa, and I'm planning to visit India. Okay, I can't give you case-specific guidance. You're probably okay, but I'm assuming your question is, will you be able to come back? You know, without reviewing your visa, I-94, work permit, work information, all this kind of stuff, I can't really answer that. On Instagram, Jesse asks, does the naturalization process start from applying the N400 from or from the 5 years, since we can apply naturalization process? So your question isn't clear, Jesse, but essentially you can file for U.S. citizenship in most cases if you've had a green card for at least 4 years and 9 months. They give you a 90-day head start. They can't approve the case until the 5 years are gone. So if somehow your interview happened soon after that, they wouldn't be able to approve it until you hit the 5-year mark, and you still have to satisfy other physical presence requirements, all these other requirements related to citizenship and stuff like that. But basically you can file 90 days before you hit the 5-year mark. That's right, that part's correct. The rest of your question is not fully clear, but I think that information probably takes care of it. Site says, question is, am I eligible for visa stamping in India? I don't know, Site. I don't know your case. For me to give case-specific advice like that, we have to have a consultation. I got to see what's going on in your background to see if you have any visa issues. Vivian says, hi, can I do anything to accelerate my case? I'm married to a U.S. citizen for 20 years. I filed 3 years. I don't know what kind of case. You're probably saying you're a citizen. I don't know, accelerate it. Vivian, I don't know. I need to have a private consultation with you. Not enough information there for me to answer that. Tiki Talk says, has the embassy put FNU for my wife's CR1 application? Why has? Okay, FNU means first name unavailable or family name unavailable. When person doesn't have, you know, a first name or a last name or a middle name, in some cultures, some countries that way, they write FNU for that part where they're missing the name, and that's what that means. SpongeBob says hello to you as well. SpongeBob asks, how long does it take to renew my green card and get in the mail? I don't know, check USCIS.gov. Sammy says, how Sweden passport holders can apply for US visa, just like everyone else. They go to the US Embassy and apply for a US visa. Now, Swedish people can use the visa waiver program if they are eligible for ESTA, and they could go online and get that if they satisfy the questions and stuff like that. Now, Sweden may be subject to the European travel ban. I can't remember if Sweden's part of it, but you know, that question is pretty simple. You find it online. If you have that question asking here, I'd recommend consulting with an immigration attorney in private to see what kind of questions or issues you have. You should always consult with an attorney in private because there's things people wouldn't even expect that are problems. Ida says, I was a minor. I lost track of what your question was. SpongeBob says, can I apply for citizenship with expired green card? Yeah, I answered this yesterday as well. You don't have to have a valid green card to file for citizenship. Now, technically, it's against the rules for you not to always renew your green card, but essentially, you could file for citizenship without a valid green card. Jesse follows up, since we can apply 90 days before 5 years, does the application process start from the day we submit the application, or do they wait until 5 years? No, they start it when they get the application. That's when it starts. But you need to satisfy the physical presence requirement as you know, as if it was 5 years. So you take away 9 days from that. But yeah, it just starts when you submit it. Start working on it. That's that. All right. So yeah, a lot of questions about green card, citizenship, typical stuff. Thanks for sending that out. That's some good questions today. But yeah, as I said, the immigration department is super unreliable. You know, the administration does what it wants to do. The courts say one thing, they do another. The courts all over the place sometimes. It's really hard to know what is going on and what to do, but the basics are still there, and this is what people have been worried about. The National Visa Center has been processing cases, I-130s and fiancé visa cases at USCIS. They're moving forward, they're getting approved. It's just certain things that are not happening. Sammy says, my wife has, I think I've asked this before, but my wife has Swedish passport, now she's in Afghanistan, so how can she get a US visa? Well, she needs to apply for a US visa at the embassy or use the ESTA program, but that's just a tip of it. I need to talk with you guys to see what's going on in your case. You're welcome, Jesse. SpongeBob says, if we stay 6 months outside, does it affect our stay in the U.S. to apply for citizenship? Yeah, if you're outside the United States, if you're not living in the United States, even if you're out for less than 6 months, if you're not actually living here, that can affect citizenship. An officer can deny for that. Will they or will they not? Will the officer at the airport have to? Will they not? It's up to their discretion, but it can happen. That's just a general open-ended answer to that. And I hope that helps. So yeah, the officers have a lot of discretion. They could approve cases that really shouldn't be approved, and they could deny cases that should be approved. So there's never consistency, as I was going back to earlier, this kind of stuff. Anything goes. The writing says they received requests for evidence for Form I-130 petition on March 13th. You know, next step? Yeah, you need to answer that request for evidence. Are you saying they received it? Well, if they received it, they got to make a decision on it. It is what it is. Kuldeep says, I have VAWA case pending more than 2 years. I don't know. I don't handle VAWA cases. I'm not sure if that's a regular timeline for them or not. You should have an immigration attorney helping you or talking with you, or go consult with someone who does VAWA cases in private. VAWA is Violence Against Women's Act. These are people who are married or had a relationship with a U.S. person. The U.S. person was abusive, and they gained the ability to get a green card based on that. It's a very powerful way to get it because it waives a lot of issues that a person may have immigration-wise. But I don't handle those kind of cases, so I'm not familiar with the timelines. But that's a general recap of what that kind of case is about. All right, so we got in a little early today. We're getting a 30-minute mark, but if you have some questions, please shoot them out. As a reminder, if you are watching this on these live stream, let you know the video of this will be on YouTube, the JQK Law Firm YouTube page, along with clips, along with other information. Videos are not anywhere else, so definitely subscribe to the YouTube page. Tomorrow, every Friday, I'll record a 15 to 25 minute video, really breaking things down. And you can only find that really on YouTube. It's gonna be on Facebook and stuff, but forget Facebook. YouTube is better. Meko says, "You're awesome for all the help you give people. You're welcome. Not too many out there like you. God bless you." Thank you so much. God bless you as well. Try to help. That's the way it goes. But I appreciate that. Go Curry says, does VAWA apply for conditional green card? Does VAWA apply for conditional green card? I'm not sure what your question means, but I don't like to answer VAWA questions because I don't really do those cases. SpongeBob says, do you know what is OCI, Overseas Citizenship of India? And Kudeep says, thank you. So OCI is, I mean, I'm not an Indian immigration attorney, but one thing that happens with India is if you're an Indian citizen, you're only allowed to have one citizenship. So if you end up applying for US citizenship, for example, for Indian purposes, you lose your Indian citizenship. But they have these programs, now it's called OCI, they changed the name a little while ago. But it allows you to be able to come and go to India even though you don't have the citizenship of that country anymore. So that's something that exists, and people from India, people from Germany, people from Japan, and a lot of other countries have to be aware that their countries do not allow dual citizenship. So it's really important before you file for naturalization, before you file citizenship, if you want to keep your home country's passport where you were, or some other country where you have a passport, you got to make sure they accept dual or triple citizenship. Because if you wanted to retire in Germany when you get older, I had a client who was filing for U.S. citizenship, Japanese gentleman, and the only reason he was filing for citizenship because he thought he had to be a citizen to apply for his daughter. And I said, well, first of all, no, you don't. You could have filed for the green card many years ago. You mistakenly, they had an immigration attorney, apparently they didn't talk to him, they didn't know this, kind of weird. But he's like, oh, I get to keep my green card and apply for my child? I said, yes, you can. And secondly, he was really adamant that he wanted to keep his Japanese citizenship. He was very patriotic and he wanted to go home and retire there eventually. And I said, then don't give up your passport. You don't need to do that. Just maintain your Japanese passport, have the U.S. green card, file for your child, the child to get the green card, and then later on in life you go back to Japan as a Japanese citizen and not have to worry about this stuff, not to give it up just for the green card. So there's a lot of information, a lot of that. Negin on Instagram says, can anyone apply for U.S. naturalization if already is a dual citizen of other countries? Yeah, the U.S. Is not strict on this. It hasn't been. I'm sure the Trump administration will crack down. But there's many people that have dual citizenship to U.S., even triple citizenship. The U.S. doesn't care. Now, if those other countries care, I don't know. But the U.S. itself doesn't care. At least it hasn't. User 49 says, even though the rules kind of say you're not supposed to, it's never been enforced. So let's just put it that way. User 49 says, Mr. Handsome Lawyer, my priority date is January 2012. Any chance of getting this priority date? I don't know. It depends on what the visa bulletin says. That's about it. You have to wait. Check out the visa bulletin. Michelle, thank you for sharing the live. Go Curry says, if I applied for divorce to my U.S. citizen spouse and I'm on a conditional green card, she was controlling. So yeah, you can still keep your green card. You just have to work more for it. There's more paperwork involved, explanations of why the relationship fell apart. But yeah, you could do that. It's a more complicated case. You need to consult an attorney. It's kind of a waiver kind of situation you need to deal with. But you should consult an attorney as soon as possible because you really need to prep that file. You need to do a lot of extra paperwork if you're not maintaining the relationship on a conditional green card. It just gets harder. All right, so if there's one more question, we'll add it. But I was going to say, yeah, definitely go to YouTube, JK Law Firm YouTube page. Facebook and Instagram have the same name. My TikTok is Immigration Lawyer John. I'm getting back into posting stuff on TikTok, these 1-minute clips and stuff like that. I had kind of on hiatus for a while, but I have someone helping me because I hate posting stuff online myself, and so I have someone doing it to help me out. So if you're on TikTok, catch it. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the US, if they're going to ban it or not, but we're still going strong, and TikTok has some of the funnest audience. I really enjoy that app. Hopefully, it's not a spying app or something. I don't know. SpongeBob, last question of the day, says, should I apply for green card renewal if I can apply for citizenship within 3 months of expiring? I mean, that's a personal question. I don't know if it depends on if you need to travel or not. So SpongeBob, this is a really personal question. Again, I need to know more about your situation. If you could even file for citizenship, I don't know if that's appropriate. So I need to have a private consultation with you to see what's going on. I'll get one more question in, see if I give a meatier answer. Rakesh says, I lost my F1 status, but my wife's a U.S. citizen and can't apply for a green card. Probably, but I got to see why you lost your F1 status. If it was due to fraud or misrepresentation, you're going to have some problems. And again, if your wife's a U.S. citizen, why did you even get an F1 visa in the first place? How do they give you an F1 visa in the first place? There's a lot of unknowns there that I need to know. I would say, first of all, download my Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook at marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. Download that, get to know it, and then contact my office, schedule consultation. I need to speak with you and your spouse by video to see what's going on. There are consultation fees, but email me, I'll let you know how much that is. But you really need to talk with a lawyer because there's a lot of red flags I saw in that. Okay, I'll answer one more question. Dustin says, once my wife and I submit the requirements, how long does it take for the initial interview? There's no answer to that, it varies. SpongeBob says, sir, where's your office? I'm in Los Angeles, but I don't do in-person consultations or in-person anything, so my location doesn't matter. Just send me an email and let me know where you are just so I have a reference and what your case is, and we could take it from there. Let's see, Sharkla. Oh, Sharkla, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. We're about to end the show, but thanks for coming anyways. Good to see you. Also on Instagram, for those watching on TikTok, JQK Law Firm Instagram page, about to hit 1,000 followers. Might not seem much, but it took a while to get there. Go Curry asks, what if I don't get divorced before my conditional green card expires? Go Curry, you still need to consult an immigration attorney. So if you get divorced afterwards, even more complicated, you should consult an immigration attorney as soon as possible. Dustin says, appreciate the answer. God bless you. Stay safe. Thank you so much, Dustin. I hope I gave you a good answer. I'm not sure what your question was. Okay, once a month. Oh yeah, yeah. So there's no timeline issues. It's all over the place right now. I get that question. Even my consultations now, a third of my consultations just explaining that there's no timelines. Immigration timelines are over. Shukla, thanks for your time. Thank you as well. I guess with that, let's call it a day. Thank you all for joining. I won't be here tomorrow. No more Friday lives, but Monday through Thursday on TikTok, Immigration Lawyer John. Recordings of this always on YouTube, the JQ Law Firm page. And on Monday, our lives are on Facebook. So go to the JQK Law Firm Facebook page. If you don't have TikTok, catch me live there to ask your questions. And catch the clips. They'll be on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. All the clips that I do in all the long form are on YouTube. Some of them are on TikTok, some of them are on Instagram, so you should check that out. Rania says, do you do consults with other immigration lawyers? Yeah, I do. When other immigration lawyers consult me, I don't call it consult. I call it something. Do I call it consult? But yeah, I have one on Monday actually for an L1 case. But I do. There's another term, not consult, I use. I have another term I use. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, frequently other immigration attorneys contact me on the things I specialize on, and so I can help them out for where that's going. Okay, so that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. I'll be back again Monday. Catch you then. Until then, have a great weekend. Stay safe. Wear those masks, or don't wear those masks. Who knows? Just don't get COVID-19. God bless everyone. Be safe. Bye-bye.